Hello lovely people, welcome to the Geek Cupboard. I am Penge and welcome to day 17 of our Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown, where we have a nice cup of tea and a little bit of a chat. So let us open up the calendar and find number 17. The number of doors are very much dwindling. Oh my goodness me. And again, we'll kind of just pretend that we don't know what this is because, it's always nice to have a bit of a surprise. So let's, oh dear me, the door has been mangled. Teapot 17 has seen better days. We'll just forget about that. And what do we have in here? Oh my goodness me, it is tropical lemongrass once again. Now I remember being a little bit kind of underwhelmed by this one last time, so we'll see if, upon a second sort of tasting, it's any sort of more impressive or whatever. But what have we got to do? Brew it for between 2 to 3 minutes. That's absolutely not a problem, so let's go to the kettle. And here we are back in the Geek Cupboard with our freshly brewed cup of tropical lemongrass tea. And this is the one that last time out confused me a little bit because, of course, the name is tropical lemongrass. And I was expecting all sorts of exciting flavours, citrusy smells. But no, as we saw last time, it's not kind of like that, is it really? This is it's a little bit underwhelming, this one. I mean, if we smell it, doesn't really smell of anything at all. It has no real sort of aroma. I suppose it's a tiny bit of a chamomile sort of smell. And then when you taste it, it doesn't have, just because it's called tropical lemongrass, I'd expect it to be sort of a bit punchy, but it's not. It's just sort of, it's chamomile, which is okay. And there's a suggestion of mint. But other than that, it's okay. It's unspectacular. Let's put it that way. And given the name is tropical lemongrass, it kind of, implies so much more than you actually get. But do you know what? It's fine. It'll do. It's a cup of tea. It's a nice it's an okay green tea. I will finish it. But it's certainly not the most sort of thrilling one of the teas that are in the calendar. But there we go. So let's go over to today's question. This is a good question. This is a very good question. So it comes from C Slow Videos, who asks, if you could make a video with any famous person, past or present, who would you choose and why? And it's a very interesting question. It's a very good question. And I had to sit and think about this. And I was thinking, okay, do I pick someone present? Do I pick a current YouTuber to make a video with or whatever? Because that would be fun. But then I thought, that could happen anyway, I suppose. In theory, that could happen. So I was thinking, okay, who's the dream person? Who's sort of a person that would be amazing to make a video with? And then I kind of cast my mind back a little bit. And I thought of quite a few people, but I settled upon the wondrous amazingness, superness of Terry Pratchett. I would love to sit and make a video with Terry Pratchett because that guy was amazing. He was a very clever, very wonderful person. And I'm sure I am not the only person in the world who was sort of influenced very sort of heavily by all of his Discworld books and other stuff as well, but mostly his Discworld books because I read them. Now, see, this is a bit weird with Terry Pratchett. I read the first book because people kept saying you should read The Colour of Magic. It's really good. And I read the first book and it was a bit sort of, oh, crikey, that was quite heavy. That was quite hard work. My goodness me. Really? It was okay, but it's a bit sort of wordy and lengthy. And then I kind of didn't read any of his other stuff for not like years and years, but a little while. And then I started reading some other stuff. I think I went on to, Maud was the second one I read. I went, oh, okay, hang on, the style of this is slightly different. Okay, I can get used to this. And then I started reading the sort of the Guard series of books, and then went on to the Witches. I've not read all the Witches ones actually, but yeah, I think Terry Pratchett. His books are amazing. His books are amazing, and from what I've seen of him when he did sort of interviews and stuff, he's very sort of witty, and he was unfortunately also very witty and charismatic and stuff like that. And I think it would be really interesting to make a video with him because I think there'd be that sort of bit where he wouldn't know what was going on in terms of the technology, because I don't think he was the most tech savvy person. I'm sure he knew how to use stuff, but if I was playing Crusader Kings 3 with him, I think he'd be a bit lost. But mostly because I'm lost most of the time on that game. But I think it would be interesting because we probably have a game playing, but I probably wouldn't focus too much on the game, and I'd just sort of be sort of starstruck by the fact that Terry Pratchett was around. Because he influenced so much of my sort of youth. I'd spent so much time reading those books, and then it got me into the whole sort of fantasy genre of things, and that sort of started reading, and I read loads of the books and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would pick Terry Pratchett because yes, he's a very inspirational and wonderful and very clever person. But yeah, there were lots of people to choose from. There were lots and lots of people, but I think he kind of jumped to the top of the list just because of the influence that he had on me via his books when I was growing up. then yeah, that's I would do that. But yeah, I think we'd end up sort of chatting away. There'd be a game, and yeah, we'd be making a video, but I don't think the game would get played very much. it would just be sort of two people nattering about stuff and me asking Terry Pratchett's opinions about things. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's a very good question. I had to think about that for a little while. I got a list and everything. I wrote it down, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there we go. I would pick Terry Pratchett to make a video with. If I could pick anybody from all of time and space and history, I'd pick him because yes, he is most inspirational indeed. And I think that wraps things up. So yeah, there we go. For now, thank you very much for joining me in the Geek Cupboard for day 17 of our Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown. And I will see you next time. Kunik, your time is now. And you have missed, Kunik. This is unacceptable, Kunik. An Ash's caravan has been ambushed by man-hunting chinchillas. Are you going to land on my potatoes? That is just not the done thing. Oh, there's a lot of them. 1, 2, 3. These guys have got amazing hair. I'm delighted that we've actually done something and it's worked.